Phone numbers are practically dead. In the modern age, all messaging, texting, and dating has moved to Instagram. Don't believe me? Listen to this scenario. Let's say you're out at a party and you meet a girl, you guys hit it off, chat for a bit, and before you leave, you get her phone number. The next morning, you text her and say, "Hey, this is Zeus. It was so good meeting you last night, we should hang out sometime." Pretty good, right? Wrong. 4 other guys got her number that night and texted her saying the exact same thing. Hey, what's up? It's me. Hey, cutie, nice to meet you last night. To her, you guys might as well be the same person. She has 4 random phone numbers in her box, and now she doesn't even know who's who. And to make things worse, it's already been a few hours since you last met her, so she's already forgotten half the interaction and is only mildly interested in you at best. The chances of her responding and going on a date with you are slim to none. I'm sure you know this already. But here's the good news. Instagram changes that completely. Let's take scenario number 2. Instead of getting that same girl's phone number, you exchange Instagrams. Half the time when she opens up your profile and sees how epic it is, her attraction and interest in you will triple right there on the spot. She'll start to ask you questions about your photos, things like, "Oh, you travel to this cool place too?" Or, "You go hiking at that spot too?" Boom! The conversation started and the interaction takes on a new life right there. You just connected with her more than you ever would if you had just gotten her phone number. You talk a little bit more and maybe you guys even make plans to go out and do the same thing she saw on your Instagram profile. Are you starting to see just how much of a difference InstaGame makes? When you exchange Instagrams, you've created an open loop in the relationship and dynamic between you. Your profile creates an open door that she can access whenever she wants. She can get an inside look into you and your life whenever she wants, and the snapshot of your life that your Instagram provides is entirely curated by you. It's in your control. You see, this means you can maximize your profile to attract women and create connections automatically. This is what I call the open loop phenomenon. Let me give you an example of the open loop phenomenon in action using the same exact scenario. The next morning, or that night when she goes home and she's bored in bed on her phone, she opens up Instagram. She'll look at her notifications and see you followed her. She'll get curious about you again and click on your profile. Since your profile is already set up to maximize attraction, curiosity, and intrigue, all 3 of these will build up inside her as she clicks around and scrolls through your profile. She's getting more familiar with you and who you are and getting to know you. This is registering in your head almost like an interaction. Your profile will pop up on her phone whenever you post a story or picture. You'll pop up on her phone and she'll immediately be forced to think about you again. The open loop phenomenon is creating unconscious familiarity for you without even lifting a finger. And slowly but surely, she starts to feel like she knows you just a little bit more. Over time, if you play your cards right, this very same familiarity that you're building will be the reason she'll say yes to a date with you and simultaneously reject guys who are way better looking than you. Well, except for me, of course. Let's take another scenario, okay? You guys meet, exchange Instagrams, and that same night you posted an Instagram story. Later on, when she's bored and checking Instagram, your story pops up. Catches her interest enough to click on your profile and boom! All of the same things are happening here. The familiarity factor is in full effect. Your Instagram is building and keeping momentum for you without you even having to do a thing. Maybe she'll even get so excited by your profile that she replies to your story or sends you a DM asking you about one of your photos. How do I know this? Because every one of these scenarios has happened to me, Benjamin, and everyone else who uses InstaGame before. Leveraging InstaGame is unlike any other approach to dating. It turns you into a cyborg. It's a literal software version of you running 24/7 to increase your dating prospects and form connections with gorgeous women. If you only got her phone number, then you'd have none of these benefits working for you. You'd have to do 5 times the work and get less than half the results of InstaGame. She'd have to wait for you to text her, and in the meantime, all of the momentum you build up in person or over a dating app is dying. There's a huge opportunity cost in not getting her Instagram. You're missing out on this entire digital interaction she's having with your profile that you would have had if only you got the Instagram instead of the phone number. And even if none of this happens, you still have the power to DM her first and have the benefit of your killer profile to refresh her memory on how badass you are, making her more likely to respond. What's more compelling? An interactive profile that gives you a behind-the-scenes look inside someone's life? Or a name and a phone number on a screen? Hey, it's a no-brainer, dude. I can hear her now. What is this weird number on my phone? Is it that hot guy or is it the gynecologist's office? What I'm saying is you're looking straight down the obscurity abyss. That's not to mention the fact that every tiny interaction she has with you, stories, posts, profiles, adds up over time to create familiarity and interest, thanks to the open loop phenomenon. With 24/7 access to your profile, she has a direct line to you and your life. Maybe she's seeing somebody now. Maybe she's not really looking into dating at the moment. But if you exchange Instagrams, you're creating an open loop that can last for months, even years. I've had girls meet up with me months or even years later after we initially followed up with each other thanks to the open loop phenomenon. Maybe we were in the same city at the same time, or maybe we were both out at the same nightclub, or maybe one of us is just posting something that we had in common, and that's finally what sparked a long conversation that led us to planning a date. This is perhaps the biggest advantage of Instagram. When you get the Instagram, you open a loop that can quite literally be open forever. A phone number could never do this for you. It'd be seen as weird or creepy for you to reach out to a girl again after a year. She probably would have changed her number by then and forgotten about who you are. But with Instagram, she's familiar with you, your profile, and your life. You can reignite that spark and pick up that momentum at a moment's notice. That's the power of the familiarity factor and the open loop phenomenon. Now, I want you to remember this idea of open loop phenomenon because it's the lifeblood of InstaGame. It's what fuels every interaction you'll have moving forward on the app, and it builds familiarity for you.